Good evening, everybody, and welcome tonight to FP here in the PlayStation Gaming League, or known as PSGL for short, of course. I am Sam. I'll be your host and only commentator for tonight, as Lordy MK could not make tonight, so I'm just stepping in. For tonight for the FP race. It's a lovely evening in real life, and it looks like a lovely day also for some racing in FP today. We have 16 drivers on the grid, all obviously in performance-based cars, so they're all based on the real-life cars. However, we haven't obviously got the performance update. However, we have obviously had a round. It was a pre-season round of FP, which was at Russia, and everything seemed fine, and everyone was racing on a fair sort of playing field, so no Mercedes was dominant, and you know the rest. However, we have got 16 drivers. I believe Juhofin is supposed to join mid-quali, so hopefully we can get him in soon. He'll be in the Mercedes, of course, as we will just go and see who's out first. Is it, as I pressed the wrong button, is it Ugi Yassim? No, it's not. It's Callum Anderson, who is the first driver out on track then in the Racing Point tonight. Of course, the Red Bull Ring had its first, well, not the Red Bull Ring, but the Austrian Grand Prix first debuted back in 1970. So one of the older Grand Prix circuits on the F1 calendar, and also on the PSGL calendar as well, and kind of a favourite for most drivers, but some drivers don't really like this track as well. As we will go on board with Callum Anderson as he goes down to turn one then. Where's he going to brake? At the 100-metre board he does. A little bit slidey through turn one. DRS open. Oh, he was a bit late on that. As he does take the climb up to turn two. And, of course, the hairpin of turn three. As he does brake at the 100-metre board again. And how's he going to get on the traction here? Nice on the traction through the corner. Very good for Callum Anderson so far in the Racing Point. A very good lap time. He's on the soft tyres, so no one's going to really opt for the mediums. I wouldn't have thought anyway. Oh, a little slidey off the exit of turn four though, and that's probably ruined his lap a little bit. This is a banker though, so he'll probably keep going to see what time he can do. And if we set the two, it's a 44.6. He was compromised a bit through his lap. We've got an AlphaTauri behind of either, well, it would be Game Freaker, not Liam Bentley. Now for the final two corners, he goes really dragging the car through the corners. Got to be very careful not to lose the rear end, and across the line he comes, and that's the first lap of today, and it's a 3.9 to start off this qualifying session, as Game Freaker is next across the line with a 4.6. so despite the slight slide from Callum Anderson, that's a very strong banker lap time to go from, as he is now the man to beat. There we go. My thing was broken there at the top. Now here's the man of the hour, Louis Welch. We've seen, I've actually seen him or heard about him in the qualifying sessions, and he's up there with the top guys, of course. Unsurprisingly, let's be honest here, but let's see how he does in a Performance Williams right now. It must be very difficult to drive this car. I would not love to drive it in FP whatsoever, so I hope I never get that car, because I do drive as well, but I am reserve and I'm commentating for tonight, obviously in replacement of Lordy. However, through set to two goes BDG Louis in the Williams. Very stable on the throttle there from the Williams driver, and as he comes through the middle sector now, as he'll get this he'll get the split going into set to three. It's 44.8. That's two attempts down on Callum Anderson, and Callum Anderson did have that little spin. Not that little spin, but that little moment at the exit of turn four. But Louis round the final two corners, chucking the car into the final corner as much as he can with that Williams, and it's still a 4.2, so a lot of drivers just cannot get into the threes, but Callum Anderson has bridged that gap so far. And we've got Ash Best in here as well. And I've clicked onto his profile because I need to get used to this. They've changed this so I can actually just go and click on the name and spectate now, whereas before you would have to go down. But Ash Best, Louis' teammate, in terms of the performance, I haven't really seen the teammate names, so apologies for that. But Ash Best is in the Williams tonight alongside Louis. And as he comes down to the final two corners now, would he chuck it more in than Louis does? Oh, he tries to, but he has to almost lift through the corner there. And he struggled through that last corner as well, and Ash probably lost a very big value and very big chunk of time through the final corner there. And you know, the understeer on that Williams is just horrible, and you know, keeping that car stable must be very difficult. So fair play to them. I've done the same thing once again. They've changed this thing on this game, and it's annoyed me. And Ash is AMS's teammate. I believe you're AMS because you now got the name KRR81. But you obviously have the same profile picture as AMS. It's confusing. It's Almondia though, coming through sector 3 right now. It's like he's warming up his tyres, so I wonder if he's just made a mistake on his lap and he's going again. Or is he coming in the pits? He's coming in the pits. So he did make a mistake on his lap and he's not going again. What about TTG Core Boy? He's just started lap in the Renault. Here, one of the sort of midfield cars. We're not really allowed to get slipstream, but it wasn't obviously aided, so I think he'll be fine with that. The Core Boy just using it as a little bit of an advantage there. He's following the racing line probably anyway. Into sector 2 we go. Only one corner through sector 1, let's not forget. As we go through turn 4 now. He could have used a little bit more corner there, and could have gone a little bit quicker through that corner. Had a bit more space there. Now into turn 5. It's a good lap so far from Coreboy, as he's now at a 44.7. No near close to Callum Anderson, except for Red Matt, who's got a 3.7. I have not seen that. So only 2 guys right now in the 1 minute freeze, with Red Matt leading the way. Callum Anderson's on another lap, and Coreboy has invalidated around the final corner, so not what he would have wanted. And Nano Bacon. We need to see some of these middle tier guys, because they could be anywhere. They're more unpredictable, because a lot of these cars are very, very similar in pace, and people like Callum Anderson, Nano Bacon, they're kind of similar on pace as well in terms of genuine pace that they've got. And it's so difficult to decide who, well, to predict, should I say, who will get on pole here tonight. You've got Nano Bacon come around the final corner. He's gone wide, and that is an invalidation there from the McLaren driver. And so has Lickle Blocks. This is the annoying thing. Finding a driver that hasn't invalidated. AMS then, who hasn't invalidated. This is Ashbest's teammate, so I have found out who Ashbest is teammate with, at least. Anyway, so AMS at the moment on a lap through sector 3. 2 more corners to go. And obviously a more capable Renault compared to Ashbest Williams. And around the final corner he goes. A pretty good exit out of that final corner. Could have used a little bit more, and he goes up to 3rd place though, 4.0. I predicted the pole time to be around the 3.7 to the 3.4 mark. So hopefully we will get that. I've got 3.6 to 3.2 on my spreadsheet. So perhaps we can get there. We've got 9 minutes to get that, but that was my prediction anyway. And needed just to do that. Who we got next? You haven't seen Ugi Azim. Well, he went to start a lap, but he's going slowly, so that's helpful. And I've done the same thing again. Apologies for that. I keep doing that, and that's probably going to be a frequent thing I'll tell you with this, because they've had a new update, and they've obviously changed that or something that I haven't noticed. Tom AG, anyway, in the McLaren right now. He is 2 tenths up on his lap. This will put him, 2 tenths up, will possibly put him 6th place here. He could move up to 5th place as well. Could beat CC Brain. He's got 1 more set to go. 1 more corner to go, in fact. Unless you classify this last tiny bit as a corner. DRS open, and that's a 4.0 there, as he slots behind BDG, Louis, Callum Anderson, and Red Matt. And everyone's invalidating again. It's lovely when you invalidate. It's so difficult. And I mean, Callum Anderson saying I'm in the mud. I don't know how, I don't know why. And the personal numbers are back on the car. I forgot about that. Do they have that on the Racing Point things? Because some of the cars have like the numbers on top. Ferrari don't. I didn't notice that. Cheers for spotting that. I forgot about that altogether. I just want to quickly check that because I believe Game Freak, is he on a lap? He is on a lap. Okay. We'll check on board with Game Freaker for now, but I really want to see if the Racing Point actually has some interesting details, because obviously they have the 3 abbreviated names for the drivers in real life. I'm hoping they've changed that, hopefully, but there is a chance that they haven't. But Game Freaker on a lap right now in the AlphaTauri as he goes through sector 2. Oh, he's very slow through there. A lot of understeer there, and that's costing him probably a 10th or 2. Simply there, and that's a simple invalidation. So here we go then. Callum Anderson, I'm going to go on board with. Let's see if it's changed. It has changed, so there's no number on the halo anymore, so everything has changed then, and we should have the personal number of Callum Anderson, which I'm not sure what that is, and let's not worry about it too much. We've got a lot of time to see this anyway. Through sector 2 Callum goes, and he'll go through this tricky left-hander. It's more tricky than you think, because you've got to get it exactly right. If you turn in too early, then your lap's ruined. You turn in too late, your lap's ruined. It's the same thing about this whole track, really. You make a simple mistake on this track, your lap's ruined, and you're not getting a purple lap. Let's see about Callum Anderson. Looks like he's not made any mistakes. He's fixed turn 4 as around the final corner he goes, using all the apex available to him, all the curb, and he does go pole position again, starts ahead of Red Matt, but Red Matt is just off him, not far away from him. Oh, there's a lot of traffic there. Oh my word, there's a lot of traffic, that is. For I think CC Brain and AMS as well. CC Brain is invalidating on a lap. AMS is on a lap though, through sector 2 now, as he starts. As Cool Boys invalidate every lap. It's very difficult to set a lap without invalidating here. AMS looking up a little bit, maybe getting caught in the dirty air there a little bit by CC Brain. Nothing too major though, as he did understeer it through that corner, hence the lockup. Now coming through turn 6 and 7, and now down the run down to turn 8 and 9, sweeping double right-hander here around this track. Very difficult to get it exactly perfect around those last 2 corners. DRS open, and the lap times are 4.003, so people are struggling to get in the 1 minute freeze here, which I'm quite surprised about at the moment. What about Louis? The reports are saying that he was doing a 3.7 in the practice sessions. Is he going to cross that over here today? In sector 2 we are now with Louis in the Williams Racing team, and the slowest car on the grid. Let's see what his times are looking like. He's the tiniest amount up, not up by much though. However, this last sector is an absolute pain for the Williams, as we saw with Ash anyway. Not sure about Louis, and Louis, yes, look at that. A lot of understeer, really, struggling through them corners, having to really rake the car in early to get the exit speed, and up to 3rd position he goes, and it's a 3.8 there, but 3rd place is probably not what Louis would have wanted. As it's Almondia then, in the Ferrari then tonight. And Juho Finn's here as well, so we've gone from 16 to 18 in this session. And Juho Finn will have half the time probably to set a lap. It should be fine. We've got 21 viewers now, so hello everybody. As it's Almondia setting it up to P5 there in the Ferrari. That's a really good lap time from him, setting it in P5 compared to, well, his performance teammate Dino, who's down in P14. I was just trying to look if there's anyone I can just look on, because obviously it's Almondia finished his lap. Is Ash Best on a lap? Was he pulled out? It looks like he's pulling out. Yep, he's coming into the pits. So usually we get some people invalidating and they go for another lap. We've got Tom AJ on an out lap. This is helpful. We've got something. Where is Frome? I'm not sure where Frome is. You'll have to ask Frome himself. He is in the chat, so hopefully he should see it very soon. Do you see my name okay? What do you mean, Jamie? What do you mean? I'm not sure. And as we see Tom AJ come around the final corner then. So this is good. We do get to see at least a lap go on, and it's Tom AJ who will start his lap. We've got 2 minutes remaining, so people are staying in the pits. They wouldn't want to stay out. They wouldn't want to come out now, in my opinion. They'll be running down the clock and going as late as possible to obviously get the most out of their tyres, obviously, because the track would have the track evolution in this game is incredible, and you want to get out as late as you can. So although Tom AJ's got a lot of free air right now and a lot of clean air, which is lucky for him, he doesn't get that track evolution that perhaps others will get at the end, which could lead to more grip and better turning as well. So especially for the Williams, for example, it'd be best to get out as late as possible for them. As cars will now start going out. If you look on the track map, you can see all cars flooding out of the pit lane. And as we see Tom AJ, 2 more corners to go, raking it around the corners, with a double right-hander, clinching the curb, and oh, he's invalidated there, right at the depth there, so that's ruined his lap time, and he's not going for it again. He did slow down, so he's lost quite a lot of time for you there. Juho Finn is on a lap. He is not on his lap, he slowed down on his lap. He fitted on the mediums as well, which is an interesting one. I don't really think the mediums is the best to go on, and I think Callum Anderson is going to be very close if he's going to get a lap in. If he makes a simple mistake, that is. He's got a lot of fresh air though, clean air, and he will be the last person to cross the line, it looks like, when it all is done with. Red Matt though is on a lap. This is his closest contender so far. And the Red Bull driver is also coming towards the end of his lap. I didn't see if he was up or down there. Oh, Juho Finn! And that's his lap gone. Juho Finn getting in the way there, putting him off Red Matt, and Red Matt just going straight on, not really thinking what on earth Juho Finn was doing there. That was silly from Juho Finn. And Jamie's asked, do you want me to join you in the com box? It's up to you, Jamie. I'm not too fussed. I'm in a party with some others, but I've muted them all, of course. But yeah, I'm not too fussed right now. I think I'm good. But if you want to join, you can do. If you want me to send you an invite quickly when this is over with, I believe your PSN is the same as your YouTube account name. Any more than that, we've got AMS. AMS on a lap. He is in 4th place currently, and through sector 3 he goes. 1 more corner to go for him then in this qualifying session. And what's it going to be? Is he going to get into the 1 minute freeze? And yes, he does. And P2 it is there, beating out Red Matt. Callum Anderson is on a lap, but let's see Louis Welch, because Louis Welch was closer to the finish to Callum Anderson. And Callum Anderson's actually just behind the BDG driver, the Williams driver, as he goes wide, and there's the understeer, and there is the lap over for Louis. So Callum Anderson already got pole. Is he going to beat it? I wonder. And he was better. If he was better through there, I will invite you afterwards, Jamie. But Callum Anderson looking to finish across the line, nice and strong. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1 minute free, 0.8 there. So he doesn't improve, but he has got a 1 minute free, 7.27, and he's got pole position for tonight's race in the Racing Point. AMS second, Red Matt third, Leon Bentley clipping Louis for 4th place and sends Louis down to 5th place. Nano Bacon 6th, J Ray Bay in 7th, It's Almondia 8th, Tom AJ in 9th, and Dino in 10th position. And in the chat we've got Jess saying evening. Hello Jess, how are you doing? And I'm just going to suggest, Jamie, hopefully the person is aware why I'm suggesting them. Ooh. So there we go. I have suggested you, because it is a private party, And I'm not the leader of the party. I've got everyone else muted, of course, like I said, so no interference there. But yeah, anyway, Callum Anderson getting pole position with a 1 minute 3.7. So my prediction for a 3.6 to a 3.2 did not go to plan. I thought my pole time was rather reasonable, and no, the pole time is actually 1/10 slower there. So I think Callum Anderson making some mistakes on his final stint then, which has not helped him. And just like the qualifying, it looks like the race is going to be fully dry then for this evening, and hopefully it should be a good race in store. So just wait for the session to start. We just need people just to choose their setups, and this is going to be an interesting one, you know, because we've got a choice here. We've got soft, medium, or soft hard, and some drivers as well from 11th to 18th, perhaps going for the alternate strategy. And yes, look at that, Game Freaker on the hards, Lickle Blocks, Oogie, Juho Finn and Cowboy on the mediums, and Ashbest on the hards as well. And then the only people outside the top 10 on the softs will be CC Brain and Satis Demon, or Satis Demon. I'm sorry if I fluffed that name up, I already know I have. But Callum Anderson is your pole sitter for tonight. And Louis Welch down in 5th. We've got an interesting grid ahead. We've got some PSGL F1 guys in here, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, and then F11. So, a lot of tiers to go through. And I think a lot of these are in their respective tiers. Obviously, Callum Anderson in F8, AMS, I think F6, and I'm not sure where Red Matt is, but you know the drill. The guys who are in the Williams are in the tiers of F1 and F2 respectively. You'll see a lot of the midfield cars have like the midfield drivers, the drivers racing on Sunday and perhaps in the lower tiers on Monday. So that'd be like F4, F5, and down to around like F7 or F8. And then the cars representing Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes are usually for the drivers who are in the lower tiers, respectively, of PSGL. So yeah, basically, if you didn't know how FP works in terms of its ordering system, it is basically down to that. And obviously is down to your performance in general when you are in FP. So say you win a race in a Ferrari, it's likely you're not going to be anywhere near that Ferrari next round in. So it's going to be very different. There's going to be a lot of swaps for drivers every single race, it seems like, as well. Just in case, of course, a driver is too quick for their car. As we do just wait now for the lights to come on. It looks like we're getting very close to being underway, and here are the lights then as they do come on. We've got all lights on. It's a long hold, and we are underway, and Callum Anderson gets a good start. There's a Mercedes off on the side there. I don't know what's happened to him. Louis Welch has got a good start as he looks to be pressing for 3rd place here as he's side by side with AMS. We've got a McLaren going deep there. We've also got an Alpha Tauri going wide. Louis Welch now closing on 2nd place. It looks like everyone's got a poor start except from the leader and the man who could be in 2nd here, fighting with Red Matt. And off the exit of the corner, Louis gets the better traction, gets down much quicker. Still side by side, we've got a battle behind for 4th place, it looks like, as well, between the AMS and Nano Bacon there. And look at this, Red Matt defending very, very, very aggressively from Louis Welch there. So Louis's got a good start. He's now side by side with Red Matt again through this corner. And you've got to be careful not to get contact here between the two drivers as Louis got it. He's down the inside, but that Red Matt, I think, has the traction down quicker and the more stable car, of course, in the Red Bull. So he retakes 2nd place. What a start that was for Louis, but Louis would be rather disappointed he didn't get 2nd there. as now AMS and Nano Bacon fighting behind as well. Let's not forget, we've also got an AlphaTauri just behind him as well in Leon Bentley. And Leon just sitting behind at the moment. Nano Bacon's ghosting, I'm not sure why. Has Callum Anderson got away considerably? I don't really know. Something's happened. Something's happened to... oh, it's the lobby glitch, isn't it? Let's not forget that. Come on, Codemasters. Sort it out for us, please. This is not great. So, yeah, Callum Anderson leading the way then on lap 2. Red Matt in 2nd. Louis Welch in 3rd. AMS 4th. And Nano Bacon in 5th place. However, that could change potentially. And that is a Delta glitch there. Look at that. It says Leon is right next to Nano Bacon, and he's not. But Almondia is going side by side just behind with J Ray Bay there. I'm just going to call him Jay, though, just to be a little bit more easier. And Jay pips him around the outside there. And Almondia will have to sit behind for 8th place, as he'll have Tom AJ just behind. I thought so too, to be honest. I thought they would have fixed that, but no, they've not fixed the deltas, and yeah. It's like all people say, a lot of people say they just care about career mode when it comes to these bug fixes, and well, you know, it's kind of true. I don't really know, but for comms, Brett, that's what. Anyway, Red Matt now is closing in a little bit on Callum Anderson. I also need to invite you to the lobby, don't I, Jamie? So that would be helpful. If obviously Brett would invite you to the, well, add you to the party then, and obviously those guys are on mute, so they won't interfere. Just need to get Jamie's name, nice and easy, and there's an invitation to the game for him. But back to the action then. We've got Red Matt, who's closed in considerably, quite a bit from Callum Anderson now, only 4 tenths behind. Only 4 tenths behind then. Callum Anderson right now. Louis has dropped off a little bit, and AMS is now going to be pressurising Louis perhaps, but he has dropped out as a 2nd as well, so now it's good opportunity for Leon Bentley. If he can close in on AMS a little bit more, it's a good opportunity to maybe get an overtake with the DRS here, because obviously it's now activated now that you have it on lap 3. It says lap 4, I'm pretty sure we're on lap 3. Have I missed a lap? Possibly. Anyway, we've got J Ray Bay behind, fighting with Nano Bacon. Nano Bacon on the outside, Jay on the inside, and I think the Red Bull driver has got the better traction off. Has he? Or is Nano Bacon still there? Yes, he is. Still side by side, but I think Jay is still just in the lead, just about able to keep that 6th place there. Nano Bacon looking for a move around the outside there, maybe looking for a switchback as well, but not really working. So he'll have to sit behind a little longer. As Jamie now has joined the party, if you can hear me. If Jamie can hear me, I'm not sure if he can.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yep, I can hear you now. I can hear you perfectly, nice and clear. Have you got an invite to the lobby, or are you in the lobby?
I'm in the lobby.
You're in the lobby. Okay, that's brilliant. So we do now have a co-commentator, ladies and gentlemen. So we now have a little bit more easy commentary, so less stops, I suppose. But anyway, I'm looking at this battle with Leon Bentley and AMS right now for 4th place. AMS closing in on Louis. Louis is 1.3 off Red Matt, so he will not get the DRS like the 2 cars behind him would. AMS quite fortunate now to get the DRS, because otherwise he would have been in a bit more trouble with Leon Bentley behind, who's still closing in on AMS, however. But Louis just riding his own race so far, just ahead of AMS, and not really panicking or worrying too much.
Yep. It's very few, of course, the DRS train around here. Is it 3 zones they have now? Is it one on the front straight, and then the...
There's one obviously on the start finish straight, there's one after turn 1, and then there's obviously one after turn 3 as well. So yep, 3 straights, three DRS zones, all in sector 1 and the start of sector 2 as well. So that's interesting to note, as we do see people closing in.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why Austria is one of those tracks where DRS trains are inevitable, as AMS put on a strong showing so far. P4, I think he qualified P3, didn't he? Or did he get knocked down at the end of the session?
I think he got. I think he started P4. If I'm correct, no, he started P2 apparently. I was not aware he started P2, but yeah, there he was. He was in P2 behind Callum Anderson, who leads this race still, but has got a little bit of pressure now from Red Matt behind him. 2 temps between the two of them. They're basically next to each other now. Callum Anderson's been a little slower on these last few laps, maybe dummying a pit stop there. I don't think it's time for a pit stop this early, Callum, let's be honest, but these two racing their own race right now with Louis 1.5 seconds behind. They're not really threatened by Louis Welch, and if anything, Louis is going to be threatened by the car behind him.
Dreve is overtaken and up to P5 there.
Oh, Leon via overtake. I thought Leon would overtake. That'd be Juho Thin at the back.
Geo spin.
Oh, Geo spin. Yeah, everyone says he likes to bottle a little bit, but look at Red Matt now, getting his fists out on Callum Anderson as they go side by side, going into turn 4, a little bit of argy-bargy, wheel baggy right there. On the inside, Red Matt is though, Callum Anderson the outside, who's got the better traction out of here? And Red Matt's going to slot into the lead, but Callum Anderson looking to get by again, and down the inside he goes. Not really a corner you want to be making too many overtakes, but he gets it done. So nice move there from the Racing Point driver, but it's not over just yet. Red Matt's still coming back at him, but I don't think he'll come back at him around these 2 corners. And oh, maybe he was trying to dummy to Callum Anderson that he was coming into the pits, but these two playing a little bit of mind games here, but these two keep on fighting. Then you've got Louis Welch, AMS, Leon Bentley, and of course Jay behind as well, and Tom AJ, Nano Bacon, all to worry about as well, who are all in one of these massive DRS trains that pretty much everyone knows happens at this track. So
there's also a DRS train behind them as well. They got Alimonda, you got CC Brain, and CC Brain's going for a move here on Alimonda, and up into 9th place he goes as AMS just overtaken Louis and Leon and Dre outside.
Callum Anderson just lost a position now. I was just watching that for a little while. That's a great camera angle I've got. I'm looking for a proper camera angle. Please give me one. We've got this one anyway. This is the best one we've got. Side by side, Leon and J-Ray Bay. Have we got that now? A good one? Yes, we have. And I think Leon's got the position done. Is that J-Ray Bay?
Alimonda has spun.
Oh, Alimonda spinning there in the back on the Ferrari driver, who did actually have a good qualifying. Qualified in 5th, but he seems to be back at the grid, at the back of the grid now. As J-Ray now and Leon. That's a bit funny lines there from J-Ray, but anyway, Leon in 5th place. I thought he was the best one to overtake Louis at the moment, but now Louis will be eating up AMS's DRS, but AMS has got DRS from Callum Anderson, so Callum Anderson has lost a ton of time to Red Matt now, so not what Callum Anderson would have wanted now in 2nd place, and also he is at the front of this train now, so he's got to defend from AMS, Louis, Leon and J-Ray, so it's going to be really interesting to see how Callum does.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm wondering if Callum's tyres have already gone off compared to Red Matt's. He seems to be locking up a lot on the right front there, so maybe that might have some issues there. And Red Matt's probably conserving his tyres a little bit, is able to pull out a little bit of a gap. As Leon has just overtaken Louis up into 4th. Yeah,
Louis seems to be struggling now on these old tyres. That's down to the Williams chassis probably. Of course, these are the performance cars, so in terms of tyre temps and tyre wear, they will differ for what car you're in. So I believe, if I'm correct, the Red Bull or the Mercedes would probably be the best one for something like that anyway. And Louis, you can see, is now slipping down another position, losing the position to the Red Bull of J-Ray. So I wonder if Louis will be thinking about coming into the pits, and well, what I would assume for, in any sense, he's doing a soft hard strategy here tonight. I can't see him doing soft medium.
Dino has read your mind, it seems, because he is the first of the soft runners to pit for a set of mediums. Interestingly, they can't make it to the end. Surely he's probably going to do a 2-stop there.
Well, who knows? We had in F3 yesterday.
AMS.
Anyway. And AMS now overtaking Callum Anderson. So Callum Anderson now not really liking those tyres. He's coming back at him though. Side by side they go. He's on the outside though, so not really a favourable position, and he has to pull out there, and he may lose a position or at least be under threat now for Leon.
I'm wondering if they make contact there. It looked like
Oh, Callum
it looked
Anderson
like a different
spins.
angle. There he goes.
Oh, those tyres are completely
Thank
gone on
God for
him.
ghosting.
I don't think he did. They didn't hit each other. I think though it was good. It was a good
Louis into the
correction though
pits.
from Callum Anderson, who just turned in on AMS and he realised that AMS wasn't turning in as much as him, and he had to pull out of it.
Pit entry. Pit entry was a bit dodgy there.
From
Don't know if
who?
you caught that.
Callum.
Callum.
Yeah. He's probably a little bit frustrated with the spin, but obviously if he gets caught and gets sent to the stewards, and he will know about it, and obviously that is his fault if he does get penalised for that.
As Leon's now looking for that second place of AMS.
Oh, Leon looking very close then. I don't know if he's going to get it into that corner, is he? Yes, he is. Never mind.
AMS got good traction though.
Ooh, I think Leon has got the position though. Yeah, it's a good position move. I've completely missed that. I was looking at another battle just behind, but I completely missed that. I haven't missed his J-Ray. He's had insane traction off that corner compared to AMS there.
Pitting, is he? Or...
Oh, it's a difficult one.
AMS to the pits.
Oh, that's put Jay off there, and like you said, he is in the pits, and Jay will have to go out for another lap. Oh, Red Matt in the pits as well. So the current leader now is Leon Bentley, but the leader obviously provisionally would have been Red Matt, who's gone on to the medium tyres. I think AMS is doing the same. Soft medium seems to be where to go, but Callum Anderson's trying the soft hards there. He's down in 17th now, so it's going to be a bit of a climb now to get up to the position where he was in qualifying.
The racing points tyre is not going to be as good as it is in real life. Of course, that racing point is pretty much based on where that car was in the performance order last year compared to where it was this year. This year, of course, it's the third best car. I'd say some tracks maybe even second in front of the Red Bull, as Louis has just made a move on Matt.
Yeah, so ball for Callum Anderson. He doesn't have the performance update. I mean, if it was the performance update tonight, I'm pretty sure they would shaft him out of that racing point. Obviously, he got pole in that racing point, so it probably would have been a little bit more of a bigger margin. Looks like Leon Bentley into the pit, so J-Ray will have to reconsider that line and, you know, kind of waste that corner there for Leon as he comes into the pit. So Jay now leads the way, Corboy in second now from that point, and Nano Bacon in third position.
Yeah. I just had a thought actually. I'm wondering if, well, the reason why these drivers are going on the mediums, I wonder if there's rain coming later on.
Ooh,
hence why everyone's on those mediums.
Well, the clouds have...
I think Red Matt has got the tyre lap glitch. It says he's done 2 laps on those mediums, even though he's done a lap.
Well, oh, we've had old bugs, we've got new bugs. Just sort it out, please. It'd be such a help. But anyway, as we look behind, Nichols got by Game Freaker there. He's on the mediums. Game Freaker's on the hard tyres. Ash Best will be looking for a move soon. Let's just look behind there. He was looking quite close to his teammate Louis. Ash hasn't pitted. Louis has just pitted right now.
And
so
Jay's about to pit.
And there goes Jay, and also goes Nano Bacon. So Corboy staying out because he's on the medium tyres. He can go a little longer. But I'm actually curious to what you're saying about the rain, Jamie. I think the rain may come towards the end because the clouds are thickening. But whether we do get rain in the session is a bit of a gamble for some drivers. But as you said, drivers
certainly looks darker in turn 1. Entry and exit looks darker. And now second straight, leading up to turn 2, which I classify as a hairpin. That's all been covered with cloud now.
Oh, we've got a close battle here just behind then. Between Nano Bacon and Dino. Dino, who's on fresh mediums there, really. 3 lap old mediums, but look at that fresh, hard tyres for Nano Bacon, and Dino is just a little bit quicker than him, and he's also got CC Brain to worry about just behind him as well. So a little bit of a train picking up here. We love Austria trains. They happen all the time, everywhere. Watch out for Leon Bentley. Yeah, watch out for Leon Bentley. He's now behind Ash Best. I would be hopeful he'll get him on the first 2 corners.
AMS just looked for a move on Leon, and Tom looked for a move on AMS at the same time. It could have been a big accident. That he kept
Oh
it
my
clean.
word. Look how close everyone is then. So Leon Bentley will be closing in on Ashbest. He's looking about it. He's just got to sit behind Ashbest though. And he's got this Williams in front of him, which has a lot of drag, which doesn't favour this sort of track. Ashbest though in 7th place, yet to stop. And look at that, he's defending the inside line.
Defensive.
Ooh, yep, he's
interesting.
Inside. He's trying to get Louis away, but they're not teammates.
And now here comes AMS. And now Tom is around the outside on AMS as well. As I say, in AMS, well, not AMS, Ashbest is defending here. It's kind of interesting, especially when he's not in Leon's race.
Oh my word.
Ashbest still needs to pit.
Well, I think he's actually, I know he's teammates with AMS, but he may have just failed to play the teammate game with AMS there, and he may even get Jay through there, and Jay spins there.
Jay.
Oh, Jay spinning.
Doesn't hit anything. Oh, yeah, they're all there. Yeah.
Perhaps that's dirty, yeah, perhaps that's Ashbest, I don't know. It was interesting. And Callum Anderson gains a position then up to 15th place. We've got yellow flags, of course, because of that. So we've not got any safety car though from it. Tom AJ got by Leon. He's on the softs. Hold on a minute. Why is Tom AJ on the softs?
Yeah, he's on the... Maybe it's that rain I was talking about. Maybe it's coming soon. Who knows?
I mean, what did Tom AJ start on though? Because you still had to use 2 compounds, didn't you?
Maybe start on softs.
Perhaps he's doing soft medium, or like you said, the rain is coming. Which I'm pretty sure it would be the latter, because I'm pretty sure Tom AJ wouldn't sacrifice himself for a 2-stop here. Surely not. That would have been an interesting strategy to go through.
Yeah, if you look towards the north of the track, and with all the tall mountains you can see there is a lot of cloud cover coming in from there, and it looks certainly darker than it did before.
Well, he is closing significantly into BDG Louis, and maybe soon, possibly on this lap, in fact, he could be overtaking him, because Louis hasn't got the DRS assistant. Tom has the grip advantage as well, let's not forget. He's on the soft tyres, Louis on the hards, so Tom surely should be looking for a move here. Louis does go defensive, he's holding that inside line, but it's just nice and easy for Tom AG anyway. He just had the straight line speed there to get past Louis, nice and easy. And off he goes into the distance as Oogie and Lickle Blocks.
Oogie Zine.
Fighting. Nice and easy though for Oogie. A nice pass for him. Up to 3rd place. 1 racing points up there now.
And Dino's just gone around the outside of Ashbest at turn 3.
Not something you hear every day. There. We've got AMS. Looking further back, you've got AMS trying to challenge Leon Bentley. If Leon Bentley cannot get past Louis, he could be putting himself in more danger. This is an interesting battle in the midfield. We've got Nano Bacon closing in on Ashbest as well. Let's just take a peek look at that. This is Ashbest will get the DRS just ahead. And Nano Bacon seems almost...
How dark it's gone.
It's got really dark.
Lots of the track.
It's overcast already, isn't it? So this day in Austria looks to be getting very dark. I look over the mountains, like you said. It looks to be very, very, very overcast there, very dark, and it's getting darker by the lap.
It looks like there is rain in the air up there as well.
Yeah, you can see. It almost seems like it, don't it? Like it's very covering, isn't it? Sort of like that fog-like
when
cover,
the rain hits on this game. When the rain hits on this game as well, it's basically done as Ashbest just locked up into Nano Bacon, nearly shoved him off.
Yeah, they still go side by side. On the inside then now, Nano Bacon still side by side, but I think he's got the position just about done. As we see Ashbest go a little wide there, probably a little warning. Oh,
Dino spun and CC Brain almost spun.
Oh, well, CC Brain probably
and
almost
he
doing the
is
same
going
as
to
Dino.
take the escape road back on the track, but he's hit a patch of grass, and if he isn't careful, he might hit that wall.
Well, interestingly, Lickle Blocks has pitted for soft tyres. So, yes, rain surely is on the way, because he would be taking those. Yeah, no, there's no way Lickle would be able to get those softs to the ends. Not from... Actually, he could do, but not 17 laps. I think 17 laps would
You'd
be...
have to do a lot of conserving. You might have to turn it down into lean a lot.
Yeah. It's pretty much confirmed rain.
Little's just come out right behind Callum and right in between him and Dre, actually. Ooh. So this is a bit of a battle to watch, I guess.
It is a little bit of a battle here, and I know that Little Blocks would be pretty desperate if the rain is coming to make up these positions, and there goes one already. Callum Anderson letting him through almost, not really defending it. Not much he can really do on the hard tyres.
On the way there.
Ooh, and he was like a slight lag spike there, and he's now got J Ray behind. He's picked up another penalty. That's not the first time I've seen him, and that's probably another warning for that alone. And now Callum Anderson will have to defend from him, who is on 4 lap hold mediums, compared to Callum's 7 lap hold hards.
I wonder if someone might try it at that penultimate corner. We've obviously seen a few moves there throughout the week. I did one in the F9 race on Sunday, as Louis and Leon are ding-dong battling there for P6 on the track at the moment.
I'm pretty sure Leon should be able to clear Louis. Louis is on... Oh, he's not on the worst tyres actually, but... the worst tyres, but... They're both on the same tyres, but Louis are older. However, he is in the Williams, of course. That would have probably been the better thing to say, compared to Leon, who is in the AlphaTauri. And Leon looking quite strong in the AlphaTauri as well, up in 6th place, so fair play to him. AMS just behind, maybe looking to make a move on Louis. Louis really struggling in that Williams, really struggling to probably find the stability and obviously understeer, oversteer. The car's not as stable as any other cars on this grid, and you've got to think people like Red Matt.
Yeah, he is going to be one of those drivers that's going to be praying for the rain.
Oh,
there it is,
go.
actually, the rain just splashed. Right on cue.
Speaking of the rain, and speaking of a move, got AMS maybe looking for one. And also one for Louis. Louis was going well late on the brakes. I don't know if that was just Leon going early on the brakes, but the rain may have caught him.
Oh, Ash in the spin! Ash in the spin, turn 2. Looks like he came together with CC Brains. CC driver seemed to be pretty mad at that. He threw his hand out the cockpit there in frustration. Ash best in the spin.
Well, I tell you who's favoured this quite well, and who'll be quite happy about his moves. That'll be Tom AJ right now. He's got a nice gap to Leon Bentley, and also has a nice clean air from Oogie. So whenever these drivers will come in, which I reckon would be in about 3 or 4 laps, we'll just have to wait.
It might be sooner, because the rain in F1 2020 definitely comes down quicker than it has in recent games.
We saw obviously in F2,
especially Austria.
We saw in F2 last night. It took a little while for the race for the conditions to be unstable enough. It took probably around 14 laps, and it was in the rain.
Ash might have gone off again.
Oof. But who knows? It's Louis now sitting behind Leon Bentley. He's sticking with him, not making sure AMS can go by.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but this reminds me of last season actually in FP, where it went from dry to wet and it was absolute chaos. There was cars spinning around everywhere. Eventually ended up being a safety car. The driver that won the race, which I think might have been Lickle, actually ended up in the wall at some point because of the rain. So I guess we'll have to see if he can repeat that today.
It was Callum Anderson who won here last season.
Oh wait, yeah, it was Callum. It was Callum. My mistake. But Lickle finished on the podium, and he did end up in the wall at some point during that race.
He finished 4th.
All the way into the pits.
He finished 4th in that race. He didn't finish 3rd.
I have bad memory issue with FP.
Call boy into the pits. This is interesting. And he's put on the softs. So probably just down to the fact his tyres may have absolutely blown up on this lap if he didn't pit. So probably just to protect his tyres, but whether he wanted to gamble onto the intermediates this early, then, you know, who knows?
Yeah, because... Well, unless it's not going to rain enough for the Inters by the time it reaches the end of the race.
Yeah, look at Tom AJ.
I don't really see why he did that.
Look at Tom AJ. On the soft tyres, he's got such an advantage compared to those medium tyres. He's finding so much more grip somehow.
Alamondo's on the Inters.
In these conditions.
Sorry, Duofin's on the Inters, not Alamondo. Duo's on the Inters, he's taking the gamble.
He's taking a rather risky gamble. It's only 2 laps
Oh,
in.
he almost lost it.
Well, let's just see him outside of the pit. Let's just see him come out of the pits and see how he can drive with these intermediates to see if it is ready for the conditions. Usually when one driver comes in, the game actually is quite helpful for this driver that's come in and just says, yep, it's time.
Oh, there he goes.
There he goes. Well, unfortunately for him...
the track definitely looks like it's gotten wetter though.
Well,
and there are more drivers pitting. I wonder if they'll take that gamble.
Yep. And
Got Louis in. Yep, Game Freaker.
Game Freaker
is on the inters. Will Louis do the same? Looks like he is.
Yep, he is on the intermediate. So maybe is it time now? So as Juho Finn got it correct, but obviously spun with that correct.
Little almost spun off turn 1. I was on board with Dre and I saw it.
Oof, well, what's going to happen now, I wonder? Callum Anderson is actually sandwiched in between them.
Duo's up again. Didn't have a yellow flag for it though. Looks like we got more drivers pitting for Inters now. Ash Best.
Oh my word, look at Callum Anderson. Look how slow he is compared to Louis Welch through that corner. Callum just cannot get on the throttle anymore. Wow. And there we go. Louis just found 5 or 6 tenths through that corner alone, and that's not even a joke. In fact, he may have found a second. Look into this corner. Look how much Callum's struggling.
One driver that'd be kicking himself right now is Callboy.
He could have gone an extra lap later on those medium tyres. If he went 1 lap later, he would have been perfect. I tell you, someone who would be happy, and that would be Oogie right now, who has come into the pits to replace those worn medium tyres. And same with Tom AJ with the sauce.
Oogie's timed this perfect. Play that.
Red Matt stays
Tom
out.
AJ this. Interesting. Maybe some of these guys on Inters can make inroads on Red Matt, especially Tom AJ. I think he has performed this strategy almost to perfection. Well,
Game Freaker more likely of that actually, because Game Freaker's in 5th place right now.
Yeah.
He's got Liquor Blocks behind on the soft tyres. So let's see how Liquor Blocks turns out in the Haas.
I think Callum just overtook AMS, and AMS is on Inters, unless AMS was just coming out the pits, which I think he was actually.
Possibly. Callum Anderson stays out another lap, so Callum Anderson, despite losing so much time to Louis Welch, he still doesn't think it's time to fit on the intermediate tyres, which is interesting. What does Red Matt think then, who is out in the lead? Is he coming in? He's in the centre of the track.
He's not committing.
Out.
He's not committing.
Yeah, he's staying out another lap then.
He's bottling the win here lap by lap. I don't know why he's doing this.
Well, let's just look at the race director. Let's look at his best lap time compared to Game Freaker's last lap. Well, his last lap. Lap 25.
Set at 1:17.8. And Game Freaker's just set a 1:31. That's according to the game.
Well,
I don't think I
believe that. We need him to finish this lap. And there we go, 142. He's losing 3 seconds. He lost 3 seconds on this lap, Red Matt. And you know what? I think Game Freaker is definitely in for some good news. He's going to get past Nano Bacon here, and he could potentially be on for the first win of the season.
Yes.
He should be, you know.
Yeah, Game Freaker's within pit stop range by a mile of Red Matt. 16.9 seconds now, and that gap keeps on coming down.
Oh, Red Matt's bottled it. It looks like he's bottled what could have been a really good win for the first race of the season, which was meant to take place last week, but takes place this week, of course, because of the server issues we did have. Callboy.
Oh, Louis in the wall!
Oh, Louis's gone. What's happened to Louis then?
Yeah.
Has he just spun it, or?
He's spun off Tom AJ. Oh, full tracks
safety car
covered in yellow on my screen.
Oh no, yeah, Red Matt stayed out. Red Matt stayed out again.
Oh no!
And I don't know, is the safety car going to let him to go? Callboy's in.
He's just come out of the pits now. It's going to be close.
Oh, Nano Bacon.
Nano Bacon's got a drive-through.
Oh dear.
I think he's beat it. Red Matt's beating the safety car out. As long as he doesn't drop it, could be.
He's a lucky
saved.
Boy. He's going to be saved. He's a lucky boy.
Callboy's also quite lucky.
Oh, they're so lucky. I feel bad for Game Freaker. He's now up to 2nd place, so he will have the advantage.
Interesting. He's right there with Dre and Tom AJ. He's going to come out. Whoa, whoa. Dre slowed right up. He must have thought that he couldn't overtake Callboy there. Oh, Callboy's gone on to another set of softs.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a rather unique strategy.
A lot of drivers going on softs.
Is it
We
drying
got
up?
Oogie, we got Lickle, Callum's gone on to a set of soft, Louis.
What's going on?
What's going on? And Ali Moll just picked up a penalty for speeding under safety car despite entering the pits.
Well,
I haven't got the safety car graphics, so I didn't know what it was for a couple seconds.
Gonna say it now. Red Matt is a lucky person today. He's very, very fortunate. He gets to come into the
19
pits.
seconds clear.
He's
19 seconds clear. Game Freaker, but the thing is here, Game Freaker was also allowed to pass the safety car because guess what? The safety car didn't pick up the leader. Oh no!
That's not gonna be good for the end for Red Matt. Game Freaker, is he in the pits? Oh, he's understeering. He is coming to the pits.
Yep. Oh wait, did he commit late then? Did he commit too late?
He committed late. The conditions, though, however, are interesting, so I don't know whether he'll get penalised for that. Now, Coreboy will be at the best advantage alongside Red Matt. And what about J-Ray Bay? He's staying out on the medium tyres.
Wait, Red Matt's jump call. So yeah, this must have been just a little shower.
Supposedly, but look at Tom AJ. He's staying on the intermediate, so Tom AJ doesn't believe that it's going to be dry enough to
Ali
sustain
Monda's
it.
out.
Well, we will catch up to the safety car now, so those pitting are at disadvantage, and perhaps it could be points for the likes of Louis, Callum Anderson after all, and maybe even Ashbest if he gets the right performance. But just look at the strategy here. Not everyone's coming for softs. We've had Tom AJ stay out on the inters. We've got
Dino's just pitted.
Oh, he should be pitting for softs then. Nope, new fresh mediums, intermediate.
Yeah, it stopped raining, I think.
Or is he in now?
Looked like it stopped raining in the pits.
Well,
it's not on the track.
Everyone is on the softs except from J-Ray Bay on the mediums, and then Tom AJ, Juho Finn, and Demon on the intermediate tyres there. So this is an interesting strategy.
I tell you what, this could be interesting to see how Tom AJ could do compared to some of these guys.
Well, I'm just
wondering. Obviously, slick tyres looked a bit dodgy on the green there. Oh, Tom AJ, is that late there?
He is into the pit, so he doesn't think these inters are going to be good for him. However, I just want to say something. This is obviously last game, but I mean, Callum will back me up on this, and maybe some other guys who are watching or, you know, obviously racing right now. In F6 last season, we had the same thing at Monza, and the safety car came out, but the track was drying up. And, well, over half of us, I think, went for the soft tyres, and everyone else stayed on the mediums. And I'll tell you something now, it was not the correct decision at all to go on to the soft tyres.
I'll tell you another thing, the rain has stopped.
This could be interesting then. We still have people pitting now, so everyone now fitting the dry tyres on, so they all think it's fine to go racing again in the dry. That's interesting, isn't it? But if there was no safety car, I think that would have been more interesting, really, because if I'm correct, Red Matt probably could have been able to make it to the end on those medium tyres. So he would be disappointed, kind of, but he would also be in a big relief that the safety car came out, so he can put on fresh rubber and not have those old mediums at the end, which could have been limp.
Yep.
And we should just wait.
I'll tell you what, this safety car has been out for a long time, considering the crash that brought it out only destroyed someone's front wing and didn't do any more damage. Well,
that usually they just wait to pack up the grid again, and I think it's not far from packing up now. We've just got, I think, Demon at the back, who we're still waiting just to close in, and then we'll be back underway for some racing on the next lap.
Just waiting for Matt then. Everyone should be budged up then.
Well,
now in F9, there was an issue with the restart. The leader went, but then caught up to the safety car and had to slam on the brakes again, caused everyone to stack up, and some people collided with each other, got wind damage. They literally ended up getting a 5-second penalty after the race for doing that, so it'll be interesting to see whether Redmat will do that or not.
I doubt. I reckon he'll take it to the line.
Maybe. Do the Verstappen from Brazil last year. Of course, that tactic is very popular at Monza, where you can just take it to the line, try and destroy any slipstream. As safety car is in this lap, so we'll be resuming the racing with about 5 laps to go.
Well, let's see how Redmat does then on the restart. He's got TTG Callboy behind him, J-Ray in third, Leon Bentley and Game Freaker. All these guys on the softs except for J-Ray. Let's get ready to get some racing underway again for 5 more laps of this Austrian Grand Prix here in FP. Who's going to take the first victory? Let's not forget penalties do count. We're not going to take a look at them because we want a little bit of surprise. And we've already got...
gone, Nana Bacon. Game Freaker's got a penalty for colliding with Nana Bacon.
Oof, yeah, that's probably hindered Game Freaker's hopes then, perhaps. Anyway, Redmat in the lead. Let's not forget he has a 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. So as far as I'm concerned, Callboy's got an advantage here, but Redmat's right on it, and in fact he's almost a second out already of Callboy in second place. J-Ray Bay losing time on those worn medium tyres. I think he's got to make them 5 more laps. Leon Bentley be looking, and
down
like
inside of Little.
And there we go.
9th place there.
Louis redeeming himself then from that spin that he had earlier on, and perhaps Callum Anderson redeeming himself for the spin he had earlier. He would like to make a few moves up the field. He sits behind these guys at the moment, looking further up. We've got Nano Bacon closing in on Game Freaker. These two had a little bit of a collision on the restart. And Nano Bacon right now just sitting behind Game Freaker. When are we going to get DRS? I believe it's on lap 33 we will get that. And
Game Freaker could be a sitting duck. He has no ERS.
Already? Well, no, not already, but like, yeah, he had no ERS at the end of the lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Okay, what, Redmat has just checked out. He's nearly 2 seconds ahead of Callboy already.
Wow, great pace shown then from the Red Bull driver. Leon Bentley getting very close. I'll tell you who also is getting very close. It's Callum Anderson as he goes and sends it down the inside of Lickle. Lickle gets the better exit here, but they still go side by side. And Callum's got the better phase afterwards. Yeah, Leon into third. Look how close these two are though. Down the inside goes Callum Anderson. We've got terrible views from both of them. Lickle keeping it composed at the outside and sustains 10th place. And like you said, Leon Bentley getting past J-Ray Bay. So Leon now on the hunt potentially for a victory or for a podium here. And Callum Anderson now chasing down for a single point here with Lickle blocks ahead of him. We've got Nano Bacon. Oh, Tom AJ down the inside. Well, I didn't see that one coming, and Tom AJ's just pipped Callum Anderson down the inside there.
Can he come back?
He will be looking at it, and he's going to take it around the outside.
DRS or an ERS.
Oh, Callum Anderson.
Oh, he almost spun into him. Now you can click CC Brain rather.
I don't know who they've replaced
both of them.
Yep, and look at this. CC Brain looking for it as well. He's not going to go for Callum, moving a little bit under braking there, not causing anyone any harm. Side by side though with CC Brain. CC Brain kind of knocking Callum Anderson off the track. That was a little bit naughty there from CC Brain. Callum Anderson sustained composure.
But Callum sent it then.
Yeah, he sent it, but he didn't really have much space with Tom AJ still there. Look at that though, CC Brain still keeping the position, and Callum just sitting behind there in the racing point. And whether he's going to take the position back.
Oh, Dino's around.
Oh, there goes
Dino. I think he spun off. Is he round Callum there, or was it Ash? Might have been Ash.
It would have been Ash.
Off someone.
It would have been Ash or Joho Finn. It wasn't Callum.
Oh, Callum.
Oh, Callum.
That's traffic extending.
And there he goes. And he's out. Oh my word, Callum Anderson. That was insane. That was.
The first proper retirement as a very loud car passes by my house.
You, Callum. Anyway, We've got a massive train
Alimondo
here.
is not in this race.
We've got a massive train here from Leon Bentley downwards. And we may see a move from Louis Welch here. No, we don't. He's a bit far back. No one making moves at the moment. And we've got Juho Finn sitting with Ash Best at the moment as well. And oh, Louis looking for the inside, and Louis spinning. Oh, and he's hit a car.
That's a big collision.
That was Lickle, and Lickle's now got wing damage.
Lickle. He got damage.
Yes, he has, and Louis spun the car.
He spun.
I think he tapped AMS. He tapped AMS, Louis did there. So Louis spun again. He's not had a great start to the season, has he? And AMS...
Hang on. Duo Finn could be on for some points.
Can he be on for some points? Finally, Duo Finn and Ash Best. This is unlikely. You will never really see this.
Send it.
Nah, he's going to just sit behind there. He could have done a little bit more with Ash Best.
Louis is out. Yeah, and maybe Lickle as well.
Yep, it looks likely. And look at Duo Finn. He is coming on Ash Best. Is he going to go for it? Oh, he's just sitting behind. He's just not going for the moves. Go for it, Duo. Go on. You've got 2 more laps to go.
Did Ash just majorly lock the rears there coming out of turn 2?
I suppose so. It's the Williams. Let's not forget. It's not easy to control that Williams. So you see Ash Best struggling with Juho Finn here. An F1 driver versus F11. Technically speaking, obviously in Formula Performance, it doesn't matter. It's the fastest car versus the slowest car here, and Juho Finn has the fastest. So it's him versus Ash Best for a singular point with 1 lap to go. We're on the final lap.
He might hold back because he might have less penalties than Ash.
He's teasing though, isn't he? I think he's lost out a little bit there though, but Ash is just thinking about it. As Red Matt now 4 seconds clear.
Haas off the track.
That would be Lickle.
Wait, no, was that lag?
No, that was Lickle.
Lickle's out.
Yeah, Lickle's already out of this race.
Oh, yeah, it was. Hey, I came out the pits.
Go on, here he goes. Duo Finn. He's got 1 more opportunity to get him. I thought he would go for it then. He's just not really going for it. For Duo Finn sitting behind. He's got 1 last straight to go. And Ash, he hasn't got the ERS. He goes defensive. Oh,
here he goes. Oh.
Switch back, maybe. No, he doesn't. And it looks like Ash Best is going to stick in 10th place for this race. As Red Matt now coming through the last 2 corners. It's been.
Will he win it on penalties? He's just under 5 seconds. There's Cowboy. Just over now.
Oh, we got 5 seconds there added on to his time. What about Cowboy? Where is he? And he's won the race. Leon's won the race. Leon.
Boogie on the podium.
That is well interesting. We've just had a huge switch around. Leon Bentley wins this race on penalties. Cowboy in 2nd place.
And Duo and Matt both got points as Game Freaker fell all the way down to 9th.
Wow. Game Freaker got a lot of penalties there. And big ups to Duo Finn. Really trying to take it to Ash there. Just not making the moves. And it was unfortunate. But he did get the points though still. And I think both Mercedes will be delighted in the points at the end. But Leon Bentley would be over the moon with his result. Didn't really look like he had the race pace to win today. However, he kept it clean on the track and he's won the race. And Leon Bentley is the first race winner of the FP season here in PSGL.
Yep, as he does the Lando Norris pop the champagne bottle on the podium step there.
And of course Callboy, and of course the Racing Point, which I forgot who was in that Racing Point. It was Oogie. We haven't seen much of him either this race. I don't think he was nowhere near the podium either, so he kept it clean. He got no penalties, and a bunch of people didn't get penalties in this one, in fact. So yeah, Leon Bentley wins this race.
2 drivers managed to secure a podium despite starting outside the top 10. CC Brain, they have a decent P5.
Brilliant race for Callboy then.
Decent result there at the end. But Red Map falls all the way down to 6th.
He could have had the win. He's got the fastest lap though, however, which you would be happy
he had 14. To take that home. He had 14 seconds worth of penalties.
He got a 5
that might be the most out of... He got 14 seconds altogether though. But most out of anyone in the top 10.
Oh yeah, but Leon Bentley wins the race at the end of the day. Callboy 2nd and Oogie in 3rd. Congratulations to those 3 guys on the podiums, and congratulations to anyone who got points today. It was a rather up and down race, very unpredictable really, with the weather going from dry to wet to dry. But obviously it was the first round this week, it weren't last week that was the first round, so we will be the last thing finishing off the PSGL season, frankly, even though we were supposed to be the first thing finishing it off. But next week we will be here in again live full FP, and you should be having Lordy back next week, where we will be at the Hungarian Grand Prix for Formula Performance. And from me and Jamie, we will see you again next time.